It was about 10 years ago, a Monday morning, typical stand ups. I was new to a team and my leaders humiliated me. I knew which person in the team was responsible to deliver. I was also a new manager and I needed to create a trust. So I did not want to give a difficult feedback and ruffle the feathers. The major overwhelm of being a new manager is not the workload. It's more about that one dreadful conversation that we need to give to our team. See, deep within, we all know that feedbacks run a sharp tape, but we were not taught how and the cost it takes if we don't land it right. And that's what drains us. So, in this video, we will exactly learn this, why a difficult conversation drains us, what can we stop doing, and what should we do more to make this feedback right. It was about 10 years ago, a Monday morning, typical stand ups. I was new to a team. I was a new manager with two reportees, and I attended the stand up, and my leaders humiliated me. They literally asked me, why are there repeated forecast errors and there are repeated delays? I felt really humiliated and I came out of the room. I knew which person in the team was responsible to deliver, and I knew I had to pass this feedback to him. See, I was also a new manager and I needed to create a trust. So I did not want to give a difficult feedback and ruffle the feathers. So that was a tight rope to walk. I thought about it and it went from hours till days. I practiced this difficult conversation under the shower, but I could not muster up the courage to schedule that meeting. After about 2 weeks of delaying it, I finally shut my eyes and scheduled the meeting. And I got into the room. I kept thinking, if I'm not cut out to deal with such difficult conversations. It also made me question if I'm a good manager. But here's the twist. The meeting was not easy, I would say, but not closely as difficult as I thought. A lot of it was in my head. So in this video, we'll learn exactly that. A, why do we have some such dreadful feelings? B, what do we need to stop to put down the weight that drains us? And then once we get into the room, what should we do differently to make the feedback more rational and meaningful? By the way, if you are meeting for the first time, hi, I'm Anuradha. I lead multiple teams, and as a part of the job, I do mentor a lot of new and mid level managers. And from that experience, I have realized that day, the first day when I could not speak up, wasn't my incapability. It's something deep rooted in our neurology. And a lot of you might have already heard it's called amygdala response. So, this is the same fight or flight response that we had for thousands of years. When humans lived in forest, they saw a monster and their brain immediately shut and said either you fight or you flight. So it had to protect you for you to live. In current modern world scenarios, we don't live in forests. In the corporate jungles, these are the situations that we are scary about. These are the monsters that we scare, and our brain still reacts similarly. So our brain basically tries to protect us from delaying and giving reasons to stop us from this conversation. Let's also understand how it does and what are the three typical things that we need to be careful of. There are three weights in such scenarios that the brain will try to put on. So the first one is how to deal with their response. So typically, while you should prepare yourself, the part where you should not worry too much is how will the other person respond. I was worried. Will that person cry? Will that person probably shut down? Will that person just hate me? But to be very honest, today I understand none of what he or she will react is in my control. The only thing I can control is be better at giving objective feedback, which we will learn very soon on how. The second weight that we need to put down is delaying time. So the brain typically tries to tell us that let's find the right moment. Probably not early morning because the whole day will be bad. Probably not when the situation is tensed. Let us kind of ease out. So we will have multiple conversations in our brain to find the right time by the virtue of which we keep delaying. See, the fun part is silence has a cruel math. be it in office or at home in personal life as well. Interest of the silence silently compounds, and then it kind of overwhelms everyone. So don't delay it for too much. A couple of hours, a day, or a half is good enough if you want to really step back, prepare, and go with a sane mind. But anything more than that doesn't do any good. The third wait is waiting to get more insights to deliver the right response. See, that's the beautiful part where we think we can wait, get more anecdotes about that person so that we can give more unbiased feedback. Now, the fun is there are multiple researches all across the world that shows that however objective we try to be, we are never perfect and 100% unbiased in giving feedbacks. Human will have biases. It will depend on our style, our standards, and our prejudices. While we need to work actively on our biases, which is a different topic altogether, let me know if you want to learn about it. But waiting for a few days doesn't help. So just prepare yourself for this feedback, this particular feedback, and let's just be human more than trying to be perfect, where we need to listen to their part of the conversation as well, right? So these are the three ways we need to stop ourselves from worrying. Now that we have learned what do we need to stop doing to make ourselves less restless and drained and schedule the feedback, I'll give you a quick checklist of how I generally do a very effective feedback communication, and I have devised this over time. I typically remember this as I3, or the three steps of I's. The first one is name the issue, not the person. So typically, there are a lot of researchers that say when a person hears that I want to give you a feedback, what they hear is not a task but already a threat. There's a similar research in Harvard Business Review by a person called Marcus Buckingham, and you can look up to that. But basically, these people who are getting into the room, especially if they don't know you good enough, they will already be in a defensive mode. So there, if you go and ask why were you too slow, they will not hear that it was a problem. They will hear that they are the problem. That probably he doesn't trust me. He's probably doubting me, right? And you want to avoid that. So name the issue, not the person. The way I should have asked that day was, there is the issue of a delay in forecast and repeated errors, which makes our leadership very jittery. This is a fact. You named the issue, but you did not say that you are the problem, but the issue has happened. Follow it by the second I, which is the impact. So along with saying there was a delay and error that happened, if possible, add with what impact did it create. For example, the leaders are jittery because for multiple weeks the operations had error in the forecast and it was delayed. So they did not get time to react to what should have been a BAU, and they were running the operations without the right numbers in place, and there because of that we as a company had missed. That's the impact. And if you can add some revenue numbers, deadlines to it, those are factual impacts also that you can add to it. So when you add an impact, it's no more about you were wrong or I perceive you wrong. It's an error, a issue is named, and the impact is stated. Now the third I, and the most important one, the intention. Move to understand their intention to be a party to solve and your intention to support, rather than do a postmortem. So here's how. Rather than asking why as a question, ask what. It's not why do you think you made a mistake? It's like what can we do to solve this? This is a much more open ended question, and that calls for a discussion more than an allegation. Or the question can be, what do you think we can do differently next time? Check if that person is aligned to the problem that happened and is aligned that we need to move forward. Sometimes, in spite of this, people are defensive. In that case, hear their point of view, allow them a time to think, breathe, and come back with a solution. Because while they can be defensive, they can have their own responses or reasons for why. it still cannot defy that a problem has happened and it needs to be rectified. With this, the second part of the intention that you need to clearly add is that you are also invested to help them through this. So ask very categorically, what can I do to help you deliver what we need to deliver? And they may ask for training, they may ask for, in a lot of cases they may ask for certain prioritization of work, and sometimes it's none of them. They just own up that probably I was going through ABC, whatever their kind of problems, and I will take care of it. In some cases very interesting solutions came up that can we work on a, if this needs to be delivered on a Monday morning, can we probably work, a holiday or a weekend and take a comp off on some other times? Like, various companies have various policies. These policies can be done, right? So have those open conversations. So remember I3, name the issue, add the impact, and understand and show the intention. So, see, giving a feedback is a deep rooted topic with a lot of neurological understanding and a lot of work on delivery and tones and stuff. If you want more detailed videos on this, comment below. I would love to make follow up videos. Thank you.